and welcome to a new series that I call DriverDigressions. Name is kind of self-explanatory. In future episodes I will be using my wheel and driving in first person. It's just that my capture card was a pain and didn't work out for that, so now I'm using replay footage. And along with that, my original voiceover was kind of whack. So I am instead doing it non-live, but I'm still going to be going over the exact same points. So, DriverDigressions, it's partially scripted ramblings about the channel, my recent endeavors in the car scene, like car shows and diecast. I'll get into that later on. That's kind of what this series is for. As well as news and my opinions on news in the car scene that has come up. So, firstly, Indie Shenanigans still exists, I swear. This is not a replacement for it. It's just something different. Indie Shenanigans is video game based. It's also more of a let's play than a talking session with cars. So, I have now tried 5 times. I'm currently on my 5th attempt to record an episode. So, hopefully this one goes well, but yeah. Reason I haven't been uploading for a while, for like the one person who watches, thank you. You motivate me to keep doing this. Basic reason for that was I was feeling quite antisocial and didn't want to do filming for the new episodes of TFF, or didn't want to talk at all. I don't know, I guess school got me down, I don't know. But I just wasn't feeling it. And, along with that, whenever I tried, everything screwed me over. So my mic started buzzing, my recording started not functioning, and heck, even with this project, my capture card decided to essentially corrupt the video file in some way, so that my editing program couldn't use it. Screw you, Elgato. That's about it. Oh yeah, and I completely lost a voiceover because, again, editing program. I don't know why I keep up with this. I just don't like spending money, I guess. So, going back to that thing about cars and diecast, I will be doing Hot Wheels restorations on this channel, hopefully, sometime. Currently have 2 videos in the making. Why not? 240SX and a Majorette Toyota Tacoma. I'm not going to be doing similar things. I might be doing some similar things to Bare Metal HW, if you know that channel by any chance. But for me, it's going to be more customs, as well as it's not going to be a lot of older cars. It's going to be a lot of the like post black wheel, post red line, or black tire, whatever it was called. Post all that, mostly anything I find at flea markets that I think I could restore and turn into a good-looking car, or do a custom on. Like, I have this cool car that I'm going to hopefully put functioning headlights in. I'll feature that in a video probably. And car shows, or car shows, I might have like an interview or 2 or something, I don't know. Haven't really worked that out too much, but it's gonna be in DD, or DriverDigressions, anyways.
It is time for the news.
So, our first news post is 3.4 million, well actually 3.8 million GM cars have been recalled over faulty brakes. What's happening here is that the vacuum recycles engine oil, and it usually goes through a filter, and of course it does, but debris is still getting into the oil and clogging up the vacuum, which is a problem in and of itself. But then, what they want to fix in this case is the secondary vacuum system, because it kicks in, and it functions pretty well, apparently, at most speeds, but there's a damper on it at lower speeds. So this is apparently the issue, where some of the accidents and incidents that have happened are mostly in low-speed situations, like parking lots. However, there have currently been 111 reports to the NHTSA over these faulty brakes or poor braking in these cars, although GM says that they are completely sufficient brakes, even without that, even with the faulty motor. and 9 accidents, 2 of which had injuries. So what they're doing is that for free, you can bring in, if you have one of the cars that I will detail soon, then you can bring it in to a dealer to get your secondary vacuum recoated. Not even kidding. They're not going to fix the vacuum. They're not going to fix the filter, whatever is getting debris in there. I'm not like an expert on brake systems, but they're not going to fix how debris is getting in there. Instead, they're going to recoat it so that the secondary vacuum works. This is not only cheap for the company, but it's just going to require a repair down the line, and they're just being a pain in the ass over it because they're GM. Anyways, potentially offensive stuff aside, so far, they have recalled 3.46 million pickup trucks, and 300,000 of those, 300,000 more have been affected in Canada. The models include the 2014 through 2018 Chevrolet Silverado, GMC Sierra 1500, 2500, and 3500. Also included are the Cadillac Escalade, GMC Yukon, Chevy Suburban, and Chevy Tahoe from 2015 through 2018, with the exception of the Escalade, that stops at 17. Yeah. Second, there should be a video of a Caddy up here, which I will reference. Cadillac reveals its 2020 CT4 sedan on Instagram. So, Cadillac went on Instagram and, revealed their new sedan, which will use the new Super Cruise Control, Super Cruise, whichever you want to call it, with the updated 320,000 miles of covered roads where it can drive for you. In the US, up here in Canada, I'm not sure what's going to happen. Article doesn't detail that too much. This is apparently the smallest sedan in Cadillac's range currently. It comes standard with a 2-liter turbocharged engine, as well as an optional 2.7-liter turbocharged engine as well. One thing that I want to say about this: the looks on this thing are actually different. If you look on screen, there should be ATS-V, a Cadillac ATS-V. You can see how the lights are vertical, whereas in this car, I'll probably put up a picture now, they have a combination of the ATS-Vs or CTS-V, whichever car for the newer Cadillacs you'd like. They have that little vertical side bit of it, but also a horizontal section headlight, and it looks pretty sweet in my opinion. I quite like it. And then in the back, it's normal for Cadillac. It's nothing special, but Cadillac makes pretty cars, I gotta say. This one's probably the prettiest, I think. It's a nice car. And, Cadillacs are good. They're luxurious. They're sweet cars. This one comes with rear-wheel drive as well. It's apparently to appeal to youthful buyers in the luxury market who may be new to the Cadillac brand. Apparently, that was said by Andrew Smith. He's executive director of Global Cadillac Design. And, this might be a fun car drive if you get the more powerful version. But the thing is, the fact that it comes stock with a turbo worries me. Turbochargers are hazards when it comes to reliability. And I bet a lot of these newer sedans that may have turbos stock, like not an option to take it off but have turbos stock, will depreciate much more than cars that have a turbo option as well as a naturally aspirated engine, because turbos can be a pain in the ass. Like, they are a ticking time bomb, but you don't know when it's gonna go off. It can completely wreck an engine. My friend had a diesel Audi A3, and 2 days before he was gonna get this little turbo repaired, it blew and completely destroyed his engine, and he had to fix it. The thing is, though, you're not even gonna have the option, unlike the A3, you're not even gonna have the option to go naturally aspirated. In this car, it's just gonna be a 2-liter turbo stock, as well as a 2.7-liter turbo option. That's it. So that worries me. It's definitely not, Cadillac's not looking into the future with this engine design. Lastly, we have Jeep Gladiators could see stop sale because drive shafts could fracture. What's happening here is that any Gladiator produced between December 2018 and July 2019, let me check, June 25th, 2019, could be affected with an issue where that was caused when in assembly, where the drive shafts were, quote, assembled without grease in the monoblock joint portion of the drive shaft. What happens is that it could, without grease, overheat, seize, fracture the entire rear drive shaft, and just lose power in the front, which in and of itself would not be good for a Jeep, especially if you're trying to off-road in it. You'll just get no power in the front, and the drive shaft could just fall out completely. This is pretty bad. If you couldn't tell, it's like, I can't believe that A, this got past quality testing, and B, that any automaker would do this. A lot of people say that Jeep is crap, and to be honest, this article is reinforcing that viewpoint. It is reinforcing that Jeeps are built poorly and never made, and were not made for quality, which for some of them is true, but not all of them. But it just seems like the American companies have been down in the gutters with this over a while, except for Caddy. That car's sweet, other than the turbocharged engine that I mentioned. But it seems like not only is this an American week, or a week about American cars for news, but there's been a lot of failures from GM, from Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, whatever company owns Jeep. I believe it's Chrysler. And overall, it just hasn't been going well for these automakers. So let's hope that next time on DriverDigressions they have got their stuff together. And the Gladiators can go back on sale again, hopefully improved. Well, I hope you have a good sleep tonight, and Oisumi Nasai.